welcome back to my channel. Today, to continue the topic of trying to conceive while breastfeeding, 2-week weight symptoms while breastfeeding, I decided I'll show you my pregnancy test line progression, and hopefully this will be interesting and helpful to those of you who are waiting for their big fat positive now while still breastfeeding their other kids and also not having regular periods. And in case you're new here, then welcome first of all. It's so nice to have you here. My name is Karyna. I'm a full-time mom to a 2-year-old girl named Michaela, and currently I'm pregnant with my second child. It's a baby boy, and right now I'm in my second trimester. And here on my channel I share lots of videos on numerous motherhood topics where I share my experience, tips and tricks, ideas to try and make motherhood but also fatherhood just a bit easier on you. So if this sounds like something you'd like to watch, please consider subscribing. Also make sure to hit the bell icon because I do post every single Thursday, but now I also do bonus videos here and there. So make sure to enable all the YouTube notifications so that you don't miss out on my new videos. If you have been watching a few of my latest videos, you know that it was our 3rd month of TTC and I was not getting my hopes up. Why? I share more in this video. So I did not test very early. I did my first test at 10 DPO, days post-ovulation, and that's when I received my first faint positive. But I only assumed that I was 10 DPO because, again, if you've been following along and know about how my cycle have been, spoiler alert, it has been irregular, very much. And I have a few videos on that too, I'll link them here. So I assumed that I was 10 DPO, and I unfortunately don't have actual tests. I just lost them, and this is so unfortunate for me because like I have the tests from Michaela's pregnancy and I want to keep those as well, but I'll keep looking because I couldn't throw them away, like I wouldn't do that. What I have is pictures of those tests, which I will be inserting here, which actually better because with the time the line get darker and darker, and those line progressions that you see a lot here on YouTube when everybody straps their test to a piece of paper, usually they film much later, so they might not be as accurate, so I figured pictures would be even better. So also I wanted to show you which tests I have been using, and for the most part I have been using those Amazon Easy at Home cheapy tests, and I found them to be very nice. So this kit, this is a kit with ovulation tests. The blue ones are ovulation tests and the pink ones are pregnancy tests. They seemed pretty accurate for me and they showed my first positive pretty early. But why do I think I was 10 DPO, by the way? Because I've been taking those ovulation tests right here, and they told me that I should be ovulating somewhere on the day 15, 16, 17 of my cycle. Like I said in one of those previous videos, apparently ovulation tests don't tell you exactly if you're ovulating. They're just telling you if your body is trying to ovulate, but have you ovulated? No one can tell you that. You can only go to like an ultrasound and see it there. So I assume I was 10 DPO because that's what my ovulation tests told me, and also I rely on some of those signs that my body gave me, like breast tenderness and the change in my discharge. And one of those tests that I'm gonna be showing you today, I did with this. This is a generic brand from CVS of those first response ones, and this is called Early Pregnancy Test from CVS. I use them with Michaela. I got first positive with Michaela with these tests, and they are pretty sensitive. I would say that they're a little more sensitive than these, and I'll show you why. So here is a picture of my first test at about 10 DPO. From my experience, this line is pretty noticeable for 10 DPO, so I could be very much 11 or 12 DPO at that point, but I took that test not in the morning. Like I said, I did not even think of testing, just somehow that thought came to my mind in the middle of the day, and I tested at like noon. So as you might know, they recommend testing with your first morning urine to get more accurate results. So that's what I did. The next day, I used my first morning urine with these tests, and I'm gonna insert a picture right here. And you can see that that line is really noticeable and really dark. If on the first one it's pretty faint, and as you probably know, again, even the faint line means that there is a baby, but you always kind of doubt it because it's so faint. What if this test is not accurate or something? So I did take the early response, and I was very happy to see that. So after that, I have been testing almost every single day until 17 DPO. So let me insert those pictures. So here you can see 13 DPO, 14 DPO, 15 DPO, and 17 DPO. I did not test at 16 DPO for some reason. And as you can tell, all of those tests have been getting darker and darker and darker, and that's exactly what you want to see. That's why I have been testing every day, just to confirm that the pregnancy is hopefully healthy. Again, the pregnancy test cannot tell you exactly if you're having a good placement of your embryo, if you're not having an ectopic pregnancy or things like that. But still, it's very reassuring, and you believe in it more and more every time you test. So I loved to see that, made me very happy and calm. So the next time I tested, it was about in a week after my supposedly missed period, maybe like 23 DPO or about around that, and you can see how this line is so much darker than the control line, and that was beautiful. So my biggest advice for you who are breastfeeding and don't know exactly when they're ovulating, try to do ovulation tests. They can give you an idea, but don't rely on them. Also listen to your body, and you can very much start to see faint positive much later than 10 DPOs, and it happened to me. It means that you have ovulated much later, and potentially your period would be much later. Again, like I assume that my period was when I assume it was, but that's not for sure. So my advice is you can keep testing if that does not stress you, but if it does stress you getting negatives, just wait until your period comes, or until you can wait. I know it's so hard to don't take those tests when you're trying to conceive, but there are many stories on the internet even for those who were not breastfeeding, even for those who had regular periods. They haven't received their positive until 15 DPO and haven't received their big fat positive until like 20 DPO. So stay calm. I wish you luck and everything the best, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If so, leave me a comment down below. If you have any other video suggestions, also leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And thank you for being here. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next week. Bye.